Welcome to the Mental Margarita Show.
Yay!
I got Manny and Bish in the house.
What's going on, y'all?
I mean, some call him Bishop. Uh, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show, first and foremost.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And you are one talented guy, so I'm really excited for the audience to discover your talents. But most importantly, I'm excited as they're watching this documentary, they're going to really be able to dig deep and see everything that you represent and what
Yes,
you're
sir.
about.
Yes, sir.
So, age 5, Brooklyn, New York. Tell me
Yes,
about
sir.
that. How was childhood?
Uh, Age 5 in Brooklyn, New York. I started out on pots and pans. On pots and pans. I'm not. Hey, anybody who's a drummer who couldn't afford a drum set at the time, you played on pots and pans, whatever you can get your hand on with. It was the pencils. Then it started with. Then it went up to pens. Then anyone who remembered, it was old enough to remember this when they had the hangers with the hard stick in the middle.
Oh,
You would
yeah.
tear that off. You would tear that off, and you would play like with that. I listened to, grew up in the gospel household. With my aunts and uncles snuck some R&B. You had your Earth, Wind and Fire and all that stuff back then, so they snuck it to me. And I learned how to play because I just listened to the rhythm and the sounds of what they were playing at the time. My mother would correct me. She's like, "That's not the way it's played. You have to stay in your timing. If you're going to do a role, you have to, do the same way or better, or figure out another way to do that." That's how it all started.
Emmanuel Anderson is known to the music industry as Manny and Bish or simply Bishop. His love of music started at the tender age of 5 in Brooklyn, New York. During his younger years, he began playing the drums for church choirs and singing with school choruses.
Church was, has been, and always will be a big part of my life. I think the church musicians now, well, church in general, any church singer, any church musician are the greatest musicians on the planet Earth. They really are because what they do and how they fuse things, and it teaches you what to listen for. Any changes, you can make up stuff as you go along. From this is treated as an extension of who you are. If you're
Right.
playing behind an instrument, it's telling the people who you are, what's inside of you, and what to play and how to play it. A lot of people, you're gifted and talented, but you don't have no soul.
There's a
So
lot of people. There's a lot.
they do it for a paycheck. We do it because it feels good. We're giving you an extension of who we are. So that's the generation that I come from.
Wow. And that's a great generation to come from.
Yes, sir.
It's soul food, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love
It
that.
is.
So now you're moving on. You got the church
Mm,
background, the
mm,
substance from being in the church.
mm,
I come from a family that's very heavy in the church as well.
mm.
So those are always a good foundation to start. And now
Yes,
you're
sir.
starting to do some writing. Now you're starting to do some poetry. How's that turning out?
The book, the first book, is crazy because it's basically. I know we have a lot of women groups out there. God bless them, but men really never get to tell their side of the story. They never get to tell their side of the story. So I dug deep and I just wrote something coming from a male perspective, from the heartbreak. We go through heartbreak. Men don't like that. We're trained or taught to not cry, not do this or not that. And now you have more, the suicide rate for the male is very high
Very
because
high.
we don't take care of us. We carry on everything and keep going. No, you have to get this together. You have to get that together because we're losing it a little bit too much. So I decided to put it, the pen or pencil to paper and just write. And just it's coming from a direction of okay, the breakdown of a man, we don't talk about, well, we have to treat God, and yeah, we can treat God in that fashion, and he's who he is, but we have to have the clear understanding of who he is and what does
That's
he
right.
mean to you. So if I think we get that straight, then we'll know how to treat our wives better. We'll know how to treat our sons and daughters better. We'll know how to treat our communities better. We'll know how to treat, our mothers and fathers better. That's something that is missing now, which even goes back down to the music. I want to bring the love back because once again, I remember the days when we laughed, we hung out, we took
Yeah.
care of each other. We
Yeah.
don't do that no more.
We
I want to
don't.
bring that back. That is missing. And I miss us as a people on how we treated each other, how food, we sat at the table and we laughed.
We
We
laugh
cried
and
together. We
joke
grew together.
and had
Yeah.
so much fun. Right.
Yes. And we had the block parties and
Come
we had the
on
hydrant
now.
open come on, the hydrant open and people your kids ran through the water. We would wet up the cars as they rolled by the back. All right, I see you around the corner, my partner. And it's the food that, just we were friends. We were a family.
Right.
We have lost that.
Yeah.
We have lost that. I'm imploring people to, put your stuff down and come on outside and get that piece of barbecue chicken that you love so much, or that
Right.
corn, that cotton candy, or that girl that you liked, you had a crush on, you wanted to dance with her. We have lost that. We
We
need to
love.
bring that back. We have to bring that back.
By the age of 12, Manny was writing and reciting poetry. Those talents led to greater endeavors such as writing songs, music production, and becoming a member of his high school's drumline.
Now,
Yeah.
you're in high school and you're playing the drum line. You're this young, ambitious guy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just getting contagious.
High school was an interesting time. My sister, we call each other twin for a reason. Everyone thinks she's older than me, but I'm the older one. She's like, finally, you admit it. I'm like, yes, I'm admitting it now, because I know she's going to see this. And she sings opera professionally now. She went around. Anybody from New York City remembers LaGuardia High School, which is the same school, LaGuardia High School, where you had your acting, you had your singing, you had your everybody who had a talent went to that school. I unfortunately didn't go. She did. I went to Thomas Edison. So why I don't know. And I learned so much from her. I learned so much from my father. They were, I didn't know theory. I didn't know any of that. And that's her thing. And I learned from watching her. And I'm like, okay, that's real dope. I was in the hip hop scene by then, so hip hop was my thing. From people say Run DMC, yes, the Beastie Boys. People only remember the Beastie Boys for License to Ill. God bless you, but I remember an album called Cookie Puss, and
Oh, come on.
I'm
I
like,
can't
yeah,
believe you said that. I had the
yeah, man, I
vinyl.
remember that. Yeah, that and Post Boutique came after, and I'm like, those two albums
Amazing.
really. Yes, they are, and they were a group that a lot of people, unless you understood them, you didn't get it. And big ups to Houdini as well. I miss Ecstasy with all my heart.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
he was the voice. Now the Houdini's inside the joint. We
Hey.
lived off of that. We lived off of that. There's so much stuff that was at that era that made you wanna like, I could do that too. I want to do that. And you
Yeah.
get into it and you learn all of that. And it's like, wow, it's a totally different thing. Then I learned, and they're gonna get me for this one. I was not a Prince fan yet.
Okay.
I didn't like him. When Purple Rain came out, then it was different.
That's so
The
funny.
only
Me
two people,
too. Yeah.
yeah, the only two people that made me want to play guitar in life was Jimi Hendrix and Prince. Those are the only two people. Those are the only two people. So I picked up the guitar and I was just like, and I really, and this girl that I liked, so I wanted to learn guitar. Then bass was Stanley Clark. That was my dude. Stanley Clark and Verdine White from Earth, Wind and Fire. Um,
Yeah.
that's self-explanatory. That's
Oh yeah.
self-explanatory. Then there's a group called Switch, which had the first DeBarge brothers in there.
Yeah.
And I watched how they would do things and they would play things, and in between songs, they would switch over to the next instrument. And I'd never seen nothing like that before. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Of course, you had your Michael Jackson. Everybody moonwalked. You had the glove. Come on. You had the
I had the
jacket, and you
glove.
come on now.
I had the
Everybody had the
karate shoes.
yes. You had the jacket. You was popping and locking. Um, breakdancing was another thing because uh, if I can remember correctly, Beat Street was the first one for me. That was the first one for me. When after Beat Street, it was all over after that. It was all over.
Yeah.
All over. It was all over after that. I never looked back. I never looked back.
I'm telling you, you didn't look back, but what you did do was you added to this musical talent that's developing, and then you
Yes.
get theatrical.
Shortly thereafter, Manny began writing small plays and acting at the Black Spectrum Theater in Queens, New York.
Now you're writing plays, you're acting. You're at the Black Spectrum Theater,
Yeah.
Queens, New York. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Black Spectrum. My mother was into. I miss her. I wish I could talk to her now. She was into theater. She basically had she was the neighborhood mom. So my mom was everybody else's mom too. And we would go there for acting classes and plays. And once again, my sister led the bunch, and I would be like an understudy and see how things work because I always wanted to know, okay, that's a good line. How you build your set? What kind of lighting do you use? So I was just like, you know what? That's cool. It's cool to act, but I want to know the backstory, backdrop. Who's writing it? Who's producing this? How was it? How much does it cost to get this type of thing? And so once you get that kind of, you now your perspective on life changes, and it becomes much bigger than what you could think. So you're a kid with an imagination of a giant. And it's like, okay, I don't know how to do this, but I know how to write. I know what I want to see. I know who I would get to act this way. I know what kind of emotion is it going to draw, whatever it is.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, that's great. That's great. And just went on and just kept it secret. That was like my secret thing for myself. And only a few people knew. It was like, man, I read what you wrote. I read what you wrote. Man, what's going on there? I wrote poetry for the guys on the basketball team because when they got in trouble, got caught cheating, I would write something that would help them. I need money, and that, and they wouldn't beat me up. So, and I wrote for them, and they goes, "Oh, I love him." And we look at each other like, "Yeah, you owe me some money for that, bro." But that's how a lot of things. It's how a lot of things started, and I could look back and I could see a younger me wondering, "Would you ever make it?" Now I could tell myself, "Yeah, you made it."
Wow.
Right.
And you know what?
Right.
And what I love is that as all this developing is happening, as you're adding more tools in the toolbox,
Yeah.
you're still being committed to the gospel because you're also producing gospel artists.
While staying close to his church roots, Manny began writing and producing upcoming gospel artists and choirs.
Yes, I am. I have come back to the roots. I think gospel music now, we forgot how to tell the story. We
Yeah.
really did. I don't, the musicianship and all that is great. Love you, Kirk. Love you, Kirk. But it's just certain things that can you feel it here? What do you feel?
Yeah.
Okay, what does it register to you?
Yeah.
What is it saying to you? What is it saying about you?
Right.
I think things would be set right, and I'm gonna quote my father's words: "If you stay in God,
Mm.
He'll direct your path, and everything will come into its full fruition." Or as my
Yeah.
mother used to tell me, "I will perfect all which concerns you."
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
I will keep you in perfect peace if you keep your mind stayed on me. I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
You
You
can't go
can't go
wrong
wrong.
with that. You can't go wrong with that.
You can't. So I was like,
Perfect.
yes, it's fine.
And with that perfect piece,
Mm-hmm.
you're developing.
Yes.
And your mother gave you these jewels, and you're using these jewels to shine even more.
Here's Manny and Bish and the Church Boys in Brooklyn doing the street concert. Here he is with Doc Saga 1 and Pino doing a release with Docs in Brooklyn. Here he is with Pino, Panama Red, and D, their first session together in the Bronx. Here's with Cisco and DJ in Mississippi for Black College Week. Here they are in Low Pitch Studios in Manhattan, creating Know Your Name, Horns, The Last Party 2020, and The Talented 110.
I love the fact that, you know, there's no specific genre of music that you incorporate. It's a combination of different things and sounds. And you know, that goes to show that you are really into the music, you know, because a lot of people are very one-dimensional. And you're not.
We live in a one-dimensional
time.
We live in a one-dimensional time. Only the real artists really tell the story. I have another brother now, Senior G. I love work with him because I give him things and I'm like, listen, I have an idea. Let's try it. And he's like, okay, let me hear it. And he'll hear it. He's like, I can't stand you, but I love you for it. And he tells the story like no one else does. He can do punchlines and all, but he likes telling the story and painting the picture.
Right.
I can actually see that in my mind. So you're getting the video before the video.
Right.
Which is it's very uncommon because people really don't do that anymore. Yeah. Then you have your people who just stand flat-footed, who have the voice of life, and they open their mouth, and you could swear you see heaven. And that's the truth. Because they put something down that's like, wow. There's 4 people right now who I would say is, and 5, but just I'll put 2 in the same one. There's a young man who is a younger brother to me. His name is Michael Moore. He is Luther Vandross. He has that feel incarnate. He really does. There's Enon Perryman, who I did his gospel album. That's coming out. The live recording is coming out, and we're doing it in April. Go figure. And his voice and his spirit in it.
It's amazing.
It's ridiculous.
Do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe in God? Do you believe He loves us? Why don't you sing along, sing along? I'm reminded of a love song that my grandma used to sing, saying, yes, Jesus loves me, and to this day I believe. Now there are some folks who may doubt Him, but I could never be one, because I know too much about Him, and I thank God for His Son. I believe, I believe everything that He told me, that Christ has risen, that He rose in me. Ooh, I believe. Can I get a witness? Yes, I believe. Unashamed to declare, I believe there is a heaven where He waits for me. I'm not a big fan of religion, but my friends call me spiritual, 'cause I believe in the Holy Bible and the food that it feeds my soul. So I gotta be a witness for my Savior crucified. With His dying breath He loved me. But
Speaking of artists, let's talk about the latest project, the Katfish Jenkins Band.
Man, listen, I love
Uh-oh,
them.
uh-oh, uh-oh.
I love them, and it's a whole bunch of musicians, singers, and MCs that got together. Um, I there's so many of them because it started off with two people and it became 50.
Wow.
That's a lot of people, and they come from. I have people from Africa. I have people from the UK. I have people, my Georgia family. If I don't shout them out, they're gonna beat me up, but that's okay. The DJ, who's one of the greatest drummers on earth. Elvis, your ear is ridiculous. You can play keys. Tom, love you. That he be killing that talk box. He brings you back. He brings you back,
It
and he's
brings you back.
nasty. Yeah, Akira has a voice that she reminds you of a cross between a Lauren Hill and who else? I'll say, and she has that Anita Baker. She has something
Oh,
that hasn't been seen yet. To to Slyn and Jasmine and Sheldon, Shea Butter to to Mina to oh my God to Holly. Holly's another one. Her voice, woo, she's a problem. She is a problem. Um, to oh man,
Lulu.
Lulu's ill. Lulu's a beast. She's a lyrical beast.
Lulu.
Rogue Dynamo was another one. These people put down stuff to J Enigma to the Stacks Pesos, but the ones that's gonna stand out and is gonna surprise everybody is Brothers Keeper. That's Top and KT, Hollywood KT is what we call them. And these two guys, they have bars. They have bars that they take you back to Ghostface Killer and Raekwon.
Wow.
Anybody who remembers the purple tape back in the 90s? Yeah, everybody knows about the purple tape. These are the guys who's gonna bring that back.
Manny's latest project, the Katfish Jenkins Band, consists of up-and-coming musicians and singers. Their latest singles, Intoxicated and Dolce & Gabbana, are streaming on all music platforms. Here they are in a session with Ghost, creating Green Honey, Intoxicated, Auto Drive, Enjoy the Ride, and Boogie Chronicles.
Anybody calling me? I see your eyes, you wanted me. Yeah, that's where I'm supposed to be. Splashing in your puddle, like ash and no huddle. Yeah, I like to make it rumble. I like it low, you know your drums out, baby. Yeah. Yeah, you cooler than a phantom, be the pain. Yeah, we so fly, baby. I'm tryna make it go great. I'm tryna get it every day. So tell me, baby, what you say. Yeah. They get you in my room, man, you in my bed, speaking in tongues while I'm eating your lungs, yeah. Sorry, brother, Thinking I want you all over my body. Streakers, taking control over my body. More, give me nothing less. Want you to take me down in my head. Got my legs all spread out, we stroking it. Let me around and hear me sing. Yeah. Want you right there, full in my hair. I feel you right there. I want you in that tequila in my system. I do not play fair. Anything is possible. You're on the road. Don't stop. I'm right there,
The world is that big, but it's that small. And the gift of God is wonderful. to see all those faces and to hear all of those voices, to hear those sounds and what they bring and how they get excited about their work makes me excited about, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, you know what? You know what, Manny?
Yes,
We
sir.
love you here at the Mental Margarita Show.
Ooh, yeah.
Meet celebrity makeup artist Kelly Moore, owner of Smooth Brides Hair and Makeup. They offer hair, makeup, and spray tanning services in the Las Vegas Valley for all occasions: weddings, bachelorette parties, corporate events, photo shoots, or even a night on the town. Smooth Brides will bring everything you need for all hair and makeup events. They offer group discounts and midweek deals. Mention the Mental Margarita Show and receive 20% off wedding parties of 3 or more. Meet
You're starstruck, here's a sprinkle of the stardust. Hold your champagne glass and your cigars up. See the guys with mob ties drive the cars up. Bright lights, most nights they buy the bars up. Candy coated Chevy cars on the highway. It's Frankie baby, it's on and this is my way. Dean Martin at the Sands this Friday. With Sammy Davis, here's a little hint where I stay. The city shines like Liberace's mansion. And you know Elvis had the whole city dancing. Showgirl silhouette steady prancing. Shout out to June, just the Copa Girls anthem. Legal gambling, yeah, that would tempt me. It's Sin City, holy water couldn't cleanse me. And Wayne Newton had the crowd in a frenzy. Live at the Stardust, the seats never empty. Now if you having a good time in Las Vegas, at the count of 3, I want to hear you scream, Viva Las Vegas. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Viva Las Vegas! And Main Street was the official local beer stop. Enough slot machine noise to make your ears pop. The cigarette girls walking souvenir shops, while Red Fox had them laughing till the tears drop. Before Steve got away.